Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2.
Hello, it's Friday. And you can hear us.
It's always my favorite part when we're checking the sound.
Fun thing. But, better this than speaking halfway through a sentence, huh?
Part when we're checking sound.
Fun thing. But, better this than...
All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Quarantine Quarters. I think this is like the 24th episode or something. We're coming up on a year of Quarantine Quarters, actually, in March, so that'll be really fun. Can't wait to get back to doing live theater, but until then, we'll be here every Friday, not every Friday, but once a month Fridays to read some really cool new plays. My name's Madison. I'm one of the co-founders of Green Buffalo Productions. With me today are Ellen Shearer, another co-founder. Hello, Ellen. Are you there?
Yes, I sure am.
All right. And then we have Layla Gentil, our very first and most wonderful board member extraordinaire, also here today, as well as our pretty cool video guy, Zach Hattrick, who without we would never be able to get anything done because Ellen and I are bad at tech stuff. So thank you both for being here today. Honestly, the only reason that these things run so smoothly is because you are on our team and doing a wonderful job. So thank you so much. As usual, we're going to plug 110 times our Patreon account. Yes, Green Buffalo is on Patreon. As I was saying earlier to the cast, our Patreon is very fun. You get really cool, great content from Green Buffalo, and we're working really hard to make it even better this year coming into the new year. So a couple of things I wanted to go over super quickly that you could get if you are a Patreon at every level. This is from $5 to $75. You can be a patron for Green Buffalo Productions at any level and get some really cool plays that you cannot get anywhere else. I wanted to really start off strong with 2018 Emerald Terrace. This is written by various artists in the Buffalo area, have written short plays that all take place in the same apartment complex. So you have plays that go from really crazy and strange, shout out to Justin Pope, who writes our crazy, strange, super fun plays, to plays that are really real and deep. Shout out to Ellen, who has some really heartfelt plays that we're featuring in this. Emerald Terrace is still in the process of being cast. We do have all of our directors finally picked out, and we're starting to get everything into place. But once a month, you'll get 2 15-minute plays in an episode, and that could be at $5 a month, $10 a month, $15 a month. Doesn't matter. You can get it there. As somebody who has been reading and editing the plays along with Ellen and Layla, these are some really great plays. Some of them were written for Quarantine Quarters. Some of them were written specifically for this. We're just really excited to be able to bring this to you, especially the people who have put forth money to help us move forward during this pandemic. It's been hard for all of the theaters in the Buffalo area, but we're so lucky that we have so many people who support us. So definitely look out for 2018 Emerald Terrace. The first episode should be coming at you by the end of this month, end of January, and the 2 plays that we will be featuring are Abandon Your Humanity and Feed It to the Birds by Justin Pope. Gotta start off with Pope play, because gotta start off on the right foot. And High Expectations by me.
Thing I've ever read in my life. So.
It's very fun. And High Expectations by me, Madison Sedler. I'll be directing both plays. And they were just cast today. I am waiting on, I think, one more actor before I announce the cast. So we're really excited to have that going off. Some other really cool things you could get, though. We have a trilogy written by Sean Cheeky, who wrote them during Quarantine Quarters, called the Magic Skull series. If you like weird, crazy experimental plays, this is the play for you. They wrote it for the Quarantine Quarters. We loved it. We asked for 2 more, and they delivered. We have 2 more of those, so we are slowly but surely getting that all cast and set up and ready to go. you can also, at a higher level of $15 or more, get a really cool poetry postcard sent directly to your house, written by Layla and Ellen. They're amazing poets and amazing writers, and they stamp out all of the postcards themselves, which is so cool. They always come out looking really great, and I'm kind of jealous that I don't get one. So maybe I'll sign up for $15 or more, $10 or more, and I will get myself a postcard. That'll be really great. And last but certainly not least, we are still working through the script of Almost Paradise. We are about 6 episodes in, so we will be... Thank you, Ellen, who wrote to me. I will write you one. We will be starting up Almost Paradise very soon. I did promise that once I have the 6th episode written, we're going to start recording, and I am very close to being done. So that'll be... once Emerald Terrace, when we take like a break, those Almost Paradise will be in those slots. We are still looking for actors. We have big parts, small parts still available. As long as you have a way to record remotely, we should be able to get this up and off the ground. Even though we cannot do it live like we originally anticipated, this is something that's going to be really great, and I'm super excited about it. It's a radio drama that follows the format of The Bachelor, but it has a twist to it. It goes into more of a murder slasher film, not film because it's a radio play, but radio play. And it's an absurdist comedy, and it's very, I keep saying it's very fun, but I mean it every single time. It is very fun. The cast has been a blast to work with. And the best way to sign up for auditions for that is to just email us at greenbuffaloproductions@gmail.com. Saying that you're interested, and we'll sign you up for the next reading whenever that will happen. I'm going to try to start doing editing readings again rather soon. So sooner rather than later, let me know if you're interested. There's 40 characters in it, and like 35 of them are women. So we need a lot of women on this project. Just let me know if you can do it. All right. I think that's everything. But yes, sign up for our Patreon. I did want to shout out really quick our patrons that we already have, and you'll get a shout out too if, you sign up. We wanted to say thank you to Katherine Schwebka, Ryan Schlia, Wayne Conover, Sean Cheeky, Leslie Cairns, Sarah Henderson, Zoe Curiazis, Leslie Lusterman, Kelly Beuth, Scott Seafritz, Elizabeth Pope, Lori Mara, Gwendolyn Davis, Laura Walford, Derry Howell, Pete Sheldon, and Brian Shearer. Thank you so much for all of your support. We really, really appreciate it. And now I will stop talking and hand it over to Ellen.
Before I move on from Patreon really quick, we want it to be Halloween all the time, but unfortunately it cannot be. So if you're a patron, you also get an extra spooky film because we did films this year, and that's new and fun and different for us. So check that out. And also, Dad, your postcard is in the mail. So there you go. So let's move on to something a little depressing for just a second. Sorry. We just want to address that we still want to support Black Lives Matter into 2021 because they still matter. Just because the new year happened, nothing changed there. So we have a bunch of links there for some updated information, what's going on in Portland right now with the protests, current issues as of Black Lives Matter, their website, some anti-racist books from Burning Books, which is a local bookstore that we love. Also, there's a Buffalo Black-owned bookstore that you can check out. And then also, just because, this week was a bit rough, if you wanted to be a little more involved in your community, I also have a link here on how to contact your representatives, just basically keeping everybody accountable and speaking your mind. If you vote once every 4 years, that's helpful, but you can do more, and we can all do more, and you don't have to, run for office to be to make your voice heard. So if you do want to be involved, that's how you do it. Okay, moving on from that. We have more things going on than just Patreon because we just can't do one thing. We just literally can't bring ourselves to do that. So we're going to do another film this year called Look Up by Sarah Henderson, who we love and who's been writing for us and directing for us and doing all sorts of things for us. And so Look Up is a short 30-minute film that you can audition for at the end of the month. There's an audition form in the Facebook event and we'll throw it up there in the comments. Basically, this story is about a girl who is working through some stuff and trying to figure out how to connect to the world by learning how to look up from her phone. If anyone can relate, I can. Look up from her phone and around the world, look up to the world around her, learn how to connect with people again. So we need a very diverse cast for this one. So just take a look at that. And if you're interested in being an actor or any sort of participant, we always could use production assistants, assistant editors. I got it. I never again. I mean, that's probably not going to happen, but I'd love for that to be true. So if you like to edit films, please, please, please help us out with that. And then this month, we also have a Buffalo Theater Workshop reading, which the Buffalo Theater Workshop was started by Emma English, who wanted to read plays in Buffalo that were in progress, basically trying to get your work from page to stage, from any sort of wherever you are in the process, basically getting you to that next step. This month, we're reading Covered in Snow by Melissa Morale. So you can join us on the 19th at 6:30 on Zoom. So we have a link there that you can join and just register ahead of time so we kind of have an idea of how many people are going to attend. So it is cast, so you'd just be attending as a participant. And then we can all share our thoughts at the end and help her take the script to the next step. And then Layla, do you want to talk about Buffalo Theater Workshop a little bit more and what they can do for next month?
Absolutely. So Buffalo Theater Workshop was created by Emma English as a space for plays to grow. It's a workshop space. So we want plays that you might still be tinkering with them. You're not 100% happy with it. There's something with it that you're stuck. You know it's going to be the next best play, but there's one thing that's wrong with it. That's okay. That's what the Buffalo Theater Workshop is for. And actually, next month in February, we will be holding a short play festival. So if you have any short plays, we would be considering, 10 to 15 pages, that kind of length that you need editing, that you would like to make better. We'll be looking for a couple of those. So please feel free to submit. I just put the email in our comment section for this video. So if you are interested in submitting a play or you've never written before and you just want to get a little bit of help on your work process, that's totally fine. Just submit your plays to the Buffalo Theater Workshop at gmail.com email, and we will read over them, and you might get selected for our short play festival in February, which is super exciting. So yeah, that's kind of it for me. Back to Ellen. Oh yeah, we're always looking for submissions. Sorry, I totally forgot. I was going to say, we're always looking for submissions, even full feature-length plays, but for next month, we're looking for short plays, 10 to 15 pages. Now
we love musicals too. We love musicals. So if you have a jukebox musical, we love that. So literally any kind of musical, that's very fun.
And honest to God, I have the dumbest one that I'm working on, so it will not be dumber than mine that I'm going to submit when it's done. I think that leads us to our first play, though. So, Layla, it would be you again.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about it. So the quarantine quarters for this week, we are very excited that the three plays that were chosen were Tough Choices by Bara Swain, Good News by Pete Sheldon, and Elfed by Kelly Beuth. And I'm very excited to be reading the stage directions for Tough Choices by Bara Swain. For anyone who hasn't been to a quarantine quarters before, every week that a quarantine quarters happens, we send out prompts with dialogue, props, and setting. Only one piece of dialogue has to be used, but they can use all three. All three props must be used, and one of the settings must be used to qualify for a quarantine quarter. And then from there, they have 48 hours to write the play and submit. So this is very impressive for plays that were written within 48 hours. It's always very exciting to see what people come up with. So for Tough Choices, the pieces of dialogue we had were, I'm lost in the world, been down my whole life. Life is hard, come to this weird party. And finally, I would murder a child for a coffee. The 3 props that needed to be used were a laptop, silly string, and cookies. And the settings could be a hospital room, a music venue after a concert, or outside of a store. And as we are going through and reading tough choices, we encourage you to try and figure out what lines, what setting, and how the props were used. It's always a fun little thing to do. So Ruth is being read by Jackie Maruschak, Rachel is being read by Lex Blair, and Mark is being read by James Barcomb. So I'm just checking real quick, making sure we are all unmuted. Alrighty then, and we are going to get started. Tough Choices by Bara Swain. Ruth is seated on a bench outside a toy store. Her son-in-law, Andrew, sits next to her. He is on his laptop, deeply engaged. Ruth's daughter, Rachel, calls out from inside the toy store as she wrangles her toddlers, Caleb and Penelope.
Mother! Mother, do you have cash? I need cash.
She needs cash. Mark, your wife needs cash. Do you have any? Don't they take credit cards, Rachel?
Under $20.
What?
Cash only for purchases under $20. Caleb, put that down. You have 10 Matchbox cars already. That's why. You don't need another. And why are you crying, Penelope? Mother, I need $16.99. For God's sake, Penelope, look at the sign. If you break it, you buy. Can't you read?
Easy there, Rachel. My granddaughter is 3. You couldn't read until you were 7 years old. Your wife was a slow learner. Rachel couldn't tell time until 3rd grade. Maybe it was 6th grade.
What time is it?
3:15.
Ruth looks at her.
Your interview is in an hour.
I know.
Mark continues to focus on his computer.
Did you know that by 6th grade, my daughter could name every country in Africa and recite the kinetic molecular theory? It's true. Only she missed the school bus at least 3 days a week. And I'm being generous here. Rachel, I'd say, just follow the rest of your classmates. Everyone boards the bus at 3 o'clock sharp, when the big hand is on the 12 and the little hand is on the 3. And no, this is funny. I mean, not ha-ha funny, but, well, surprising. Because Rachel's father, may he rest in peace, was a mathematician. Did you know that?
Vaguely. Yes, I mean, yes.
Mark looks up from his computer.
We have the same alma mater.
Ugh, I forgot you went to Brooklyn College. I heard their graduate program in political science is competitive. Highly competitive, Rachel says. She's very proud of you, you know.
Yeah, right.
Mark's look at his computer screen again, then shakes out his hands.
Damn it, I'm never going to get these products straight.
Do you want me to quiz you?
No. But thank you, Ruth.
You're welcome. Oh, I wish I'd gone to grad school. I thought about it, but I was afraid to take the GREs. I knew I wouldn't pass. I always dreamed of studying something where I could get a job that requires wearing a white lab coat. Well, other than that, I had no particular interests. Oh, this is funny.
Ha-ha funny or surprising?
Oh, so you were listening to me. Well, surprising, I guess. See, I used to take David's pop quizzes. 5th grade math. I flunked half of them. I mean, what's an irregular polygon? And what's a rational number? And, like, who cares? Oh, David. I miss him so much. He sponsored the math club at PSL for 20 years. Oh, yeah, 20 years. Some of the athletes at his funeral, too. He loved teaching. As much as I love caffeine. Macchiato Cafe Olay, Nitro Cold Brew. Yay! Fractions, decimals, division strategies. I think David was, how would you say, a little disappointed that our daughter was in remedial math through her entire secondary schooling. Stupid math, that's what Rachel called it. I think she took after me in that department. Or maybe she was just lazy. Actually, my husband called her head in the clouds. Well, not to her face, of course. Oh, never. Rachel has always been a very overly sensitive girl and woman. delicate, you know?
Somebody, anybody, some help, please. Otherwise, I am gonna break one of my offsprings, N-E-C-K.
I would murder a child for a cup of coffee.
I heard you, mother. Poor taste.
Well, if you broke someone N-E-C-K, the result will be the same. D-E-A-T-H.
It's an idiom.
And that's why Rachel majored in English. She qualified for the New York City Regional Spelling Bee, too. Oh. Well, her father and I were so proud.
Anybody? Put it back, Penelope. $16.99, please.
How about rounding it to $17?
Thank you.
My bad, I don't have that either. Oy. Do you have any money? There's a cash machine on the corner. Oh, hold on a sec. Does that include everything?
The skills board includes a buckle, a button, lace, and a snap. 6 removable pieces and a puzzle board. Caleb, if you cry too, Mommy's gonna be upset. Let me talk to Grandma, please. Oh, and the friendly bear is displayed on the board. That includes everything.
I meant tax.
No!
I got $7 on me. Maybe we should take a run at the cash machine.
$16.
What do you got?
$16.99. That's $42 minus $16.99 equals $26.01 plus tax. Okay, so that's let's see. At 4%, and we've got $17.67 with tax from $42 equals $24.33. Jesus.
Let me treat them, Mark.
But you've done enough for us already.
It's not like I'm treating your family to a trip to Disney World. It's just what is the name of the toy?
Melissa and Doug Basic Skills Board and Puzzle.
It's just a Melissa and Doug Basic Skills Board.
And puzzle.
Ugh.
Honestly, Ruth, the kids can live without it. My unemployment check arrives on Monday. I appreciate your generosity. We all do. Our electric bill, our Verizon bill. I'm indebted to you. So are the kids. Oh, Penelope would sleep with her under-the-sea mermaid palace if we let her. Well, she said it was from Uncle Sam.
She's right.
And the skateboard and the helmet for Caleb. Was that also from Uncle Sam?
He's right,
because
too.
because Caleb said that was from Uncle Sam.
Yeah, he's right, too.
Uncle Ben, Uncle Larry, Uncle Joseph. The kids don't have an Uncle Sam.
So shoot me. It's from my Social Security check. And it's a pleasure, Mark. You're not going to be unemployed forever. Come on. Let me just test you on some of the products. You want to be prepared today, right?
Right.
Oh, for crying out loud, both of you. Put it down. Put it down. I said, put that silly string back on the shelf.
A can of silly string rolls onto the sidewalk in front of Ruth.
Now you're in for it. We have to pay for that too, you little pains in the ass.
How much is it?
I don't know. $3.50, I think.
Then you have enough to charge everything, honey. She has enough. Just charge it, Rachel. I'll reimburse you. Fait accompli. That's French. So, let's see what you know, Mark. Are you having trouble with anything in particular?
I can't tell two products apart. Can you tell the difference between a double quarter pounder with cheese and a McDouble?
Oh, I had McDonald's for lunch. Oh, and I think I have some cookies. Yes, I have one chocolate chip cookie left. You want it?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Good. Because I'm saving it for my coffee. So, here's the scoop. Listen carefully, Mark. You see, the McDouble stacks 2 beef patties on a bun. It's topped with pickles, chopped onions, ketchup, mustard, and a slice of cheese. All the ketchup and mustard, if you ask me, that's only my preference. Oh, and it's 400 calories. You might remember that figure. I could impress the manager.
Got it. 400 calories.
Whereas the double quarter pounder with cheese has the same toppings, but it has 2 quarter-pound burger patties. The size is key, and you keep your eye out for 2 slices of cheese. 2. 1 on each burger. Did you get it?
I think so.
Good. Anything else? I'll think about it.
Mark!
Oh, Jesus.
Mark, do you have the diaper bag? Penelope had a diaper explosion.
Oh, sorry.
Never mind, I found it. Be out in a few minutes.
We'll be waiting. Okay, so I only ordered the quarter pounder with cheese on special occasions. 740 calories. Almost like 3 times the calories of a McDouble.
Actually, almost twice the calories of a McDouble.
Oh, wow, that's a pleasant surprise. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, do the same rules apply for the buttermilk crispy chicken sandwich and the McChicken?
Yes, only the buttermilk crispy chicken sandwich is served on an artisan roll. The color is shinier, a darker brown, and the McChicken is served on a bun. Oh, you're gonna ace the interview, Mark. I just know it.
My mother-in-law, the clairvoyant.
My son-in-law, the crew team member.
McDonald's, an archway to opportunity. Honestly, Ruth, I just need a paycheck. Any money coming in will help. And the health insurance? Well, that's a big plus, a big one.
Everything is going to be fine, Mark. So, do you want to review the combo meals next?
No, I'll just take one more look at the McCafe drinks.
Oh, the McCafe drinks. I would murder a child for a French vanilla cappuccino right now.
Which one?
Excuse me?
The girl or the boy? Caleb eats more than Penelope, but she's a clothes horse. Which one?
You're asking me which grandchild I'd trade for a cup of coffee? You're kidding, right?
Of course I'm kidding. I was channeling Meryl Streep.
Okay. And that means what?
Oh, Ruth made me watch Sophie's Choice last night. On Hulu. Have you ever seen it?
Sure. When it came out. I think that was in 1982. Yes, it was 1982. The last date that David took me on before Rachel was born. No, that could be right. But I remember the movie.
Devastating, right? Oh, Meryl Streep was wonderful. Rachel was... well, she was terrified.
Can you imagine having to make that kind of decision? Either have both your children killed or choose one to go to a children's camp and the other to go to, and I can't fathom it, a death camp? Oh.
It puts things in perspective.
Sure does. Come to think of it, I believe we saw that film in the Catskills. David and I spent the winter holidays in Hunter with my grandmother. Yeah. Grandma Minnie gave me a cat's cradle for Hanukkah. Oh, I loved it. It was just a piece of bakery string from a box of chocolate babka. Now that was the real treat. You know what I'm talking about, Mark. The red and white string, the kind of they wrap around the pastries. Grandma Minnie couldn't afford anything else.
Me either. Except...
Mark goes into his pocket. He pulls out his wallet and counts a few bills. He smiles warmly at Ruth.
What, Mark?
Except I can afford to buy you a cup of coffee. Let me treat it. A French vanilla macchiato, right?
Close enough. A French vanilla cappuccino. Oh, wait a second. Shouldn't we wait for Rachel and the kids?
Have you ever seen a diaper explosion? Besides, it's a block away. You can quiz me on Happy Meals.
But Mark, there are only 2 choices. A hamburger Happy Meal and a chicken McNuggets Happy Meal.
And?
And that's it.
Ding, ding, ding. Wrong. There's a 4-piece McNuggets and a 6-piece McNuggets.
Really?
Really?
Wow. What are we waiting for? Let's go.
Hey, wait for us.
Ruth and Mark come to a halt.
Don't touch one more thing, Caleb. Not the diaper. Oh, Lord, not the diaper. We'll be there in a minute.
You're going to get this job. It's a no-brainer.
Yep, because I am Fucking awesome.
You and your whole family, Mark. Effing awesome.
And that's the end of the play. Thank you so much for reading that. I loved reading it and hearing it out loud. It was so awesome. So I'm going to pass it off to Maddie, I believe.
Hey everyone, great job. Oh my gosh, loved that accent work. As someone from downstate New York, I felt right at home. Anyway, before we get started on the next play, just going to shout out those Patreon members again. You know, you could be a patron too, and we'll get the notification if you do it during the live stream, and then we can shout you out and blow off little like horn emojis and stuff. It's very fun. You should definitely do that. Anyway, thank you so much to our patrons: Katie Schwebka, Ryan Schleo, Wayne Conover, Sean Cheeky, Leslie Cairns, Sarah Henderson, Zoe Curiazis, Leslie Lusterman, Kelly Beuth, Scott Seifritz, Elizabeth Pope, Lori Mara, Gwendolyn Davis, Laurel Walford, Derry Howell, Pete Sheldon, who wrote this play, and Brian Shearer, who's Ellen's dad. And we're so happy to have you. And thank you so much for all of your generosity and donations. Whenever you started your patronage with Green Buffalo Productions. And this could be you, dear listener. You could also sign up for the Patreon, link in the comments. We are always taking patrons at any level at any given time. So please consider that. It will really help us pay our actors for upcoming productions, as well as storage space. And when we can go meet live in a theater space. Anyway, let's get going. We're going to read Good News by Pete Sheldon. This is a New Year's Eve play that I'm really excited to share with everybody today. Barry will be played by James Barcomb, Parker will be played by Malin Hayden, and Katherine will be played by Lex Blair. And I will be reading the stage directions. So, all my actors are all set. Looks like it. Good News by Pete Sheldon. Barry hums Good News, then just stares into the night sky, sits up cross-legged, holds up a champagne glass.
Here's to the nights we felt alive.
Barry drains the glass, falling backwards. Parker enters. She's wearing a dress with a health and safety poster pinned onto it that reads, "Caution can cause serious loss of life or dismemberment." She holds a garbage bag and begins collecting the cups.
Barry! Roomy! Roomio! Roommate! Sweet party, huh? Aren't you cold?
Barry makes a Barry sound.
Gotcha.
Parker continues picking up.
Happy New Year's Eve.
Is it?
She stops.
What?
I mean, what makes it a new year? How do we really know? We were just born into this handed-down social contract where we all agree that a certain passage of another socially contracted measure of time says we need to use a new number. Which, don't get me started on those. Well, why 365? Why not 400? The Chinese have their own system.
Barry stands up.
What if I need a few more days just to get used to writing the date? Or maybe I'd like to skip a few years. We're all just following a concept that supposedly goes back to the Mayans, which they agreed that this shit was supposed to be over in 2012. Get this. Oh, Mayan, la-di-da. Hey, I just figured out how to make sense of that hot orb of light that keeps running away. Oh, gee, that's great, Steve. Well, how long will this last? Oh, only, 2012 years. Oh, sounds good. Oh, by the way, so, I might commit murder. Sorry in advance. Sacrifices aren't going to disembowel themselves. Should we be taking time advice from guys who are probably just trying to make sense of why the sun rises and falls in order to feel some ounce of control in a world full of chaos? Which, I mean, if you think about it, is the reason behind why any one of us does anything at all.
Barry falls back down, and Parker sits beside Barry and gives him a hug.
bear hug.
Well, usually it's the bear getting the hug.
Just another one of those social contract things.
Sorry. I'm a mess.
No shit. But that's what life is, right? Everyone's a mess. We all know it. That's why we created stuff like New Year's, Christmas, alcohol. It helps us regulate and distract ourselves so we're not just staring into the sun wondering why it goes down.
It's all starting to feel like a blur, though. Is time even real?
Easy. Might fall into a black hole or create a glitch in the matrix.
Thanks, Parker. You seem to be dealing with it better, though.
This year, I'm gonna grow.
Oh, stop. I hate all those slogans.
New year, new me.
Bless up!
Thrive. Easy poo.
Why do we choose this time to force change on ourselves when change is going to happen whether we wanted to or not? If anything, our trying to measure time is why we think things are staying the same.
I want cookies.
What?
I want cookies.
You know, me too.
Parker whips out her phone.
Okay, we got all night munchies or cookie cats.
Pairs well with looming existential dread.
Cookie cats blue icing filled. Cookie dough sandwiches with sprinkles.
Ooh, that'll do it. And the brownie that's shaped like a paw print.
Milk for dunking.
Chocolate, please.
And ordered.
Oh, poor delivery person.
Hey, probably making a killing in tips though.
True, but they don't get to party.
Maybe that is their celebration. Working so they can celebrate later. Like you said, time doesn't really matter.
Oh.
I think you're the only one who's a black hole in this house? Now, come on. Isn't there anything you're looking forward to this year?
Not really. Just about anything I do out of obligation of not looking like a loser. Therefore, I don't really have anything I want to do or look forward to.
Barry takes a swig.
But you just drank that.
Doesn't mean I enjoyed it.
Barry, seriously, dude, what brought this on?
You know, it's the funny thing. Nothing. It's just stuff that I think about. Then one thought leads to another like a fucked RPG skill map, and it starts to really get to me.
Well, yeah. Same. When I'm at work, on lattes, smelling like stale milk when I come home. I get into a spiral, and then I wake up with an empty wine bottle staring me right in the face, shouting, "Good morning!"
You know, they say that climate change is going to render the planet uninhabitable, and thus end the human race. Am I the only one saying, could you hurry it up?
Wow. Careful. Your nihilist is showing. Silly old bear.
Also, I think nihilist is just a fancy way of saying realist.
Getting darker.
Car sounds in the distance.
I think that's the delivery person.
Good.
Katherine, the delivery person, enters. Aside from the usual delivery attire, she wears cat ears.
Order for Parker?
We're here.
What's your name?
Katherine.
Katherine. You're Katherine who delivers cookies from Cookie Cats?
Yeah.
And how do you feel about being on a giant rock hurtling through the universe around the sun?
What?
Parker begins munching on one of the cookies.
How do you feel knowing we're trapped in a senseless vortex of rules powered by greed and the human race's desperate need for control, which we only invented to distract ourselves from the fact that we're on a giant rock Hurtling around the sun.
Well,
Barry leans in.
I'm here to deliver cookies. And that is it. Happy New Year's and have a good night.
Katherine leaves, meowing.
Believe that?
Well, what does she care? She has 9 lives. Chocolate brownie?
Ooh, yes, please.
Barry begins munching on the brownie.
See? Brownie. That's something to look forward to.
But soon it'll be gone.
Okay, I give up.
Parker sits in silence with Barry eating their cookies. Parker takes out her phone.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, don't say it.
Happy distracting ourselves from the emptiness of life.
Yeah, that'll work.
Or happy revolution around the sun. Hope it's not too bumpy of a ride.
Barry shrugs.
Should probably get back to the party. Coming?
I think I'll stay out here.
Won't get cold?
I'm a bear, remember?
Okay. If I have to drag you inside, I'll probably fall asleep and then give you shit about it in the morning.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Parker exits. Barry sits like he did at the beginning, looking up at the sky. Parker then immediately rushes in and tackles Barry.
Air hug!
Lights out. Great job, everybody! And thank you so much, Pete, for writing that play for the Quarantine Quarters. If you'd like to be a writer for the Quarantine Quarters, next prompt goes out at 9 o'clock. Just email us at greenbuffaloproductions@gmail.com, letting us know you want to write, and we'll add you to the list so you can get put onto it. Now I'm going to hand it over to Ellen for our last play of the night.
All right, so our last play is called Elf by Kelly Beuth. But before I get everybody all set, I just want to read off those lovely patrons again. And just, again, you can be a patron if you want. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/Green Buffalo Productions, and then you can be a special patron that we say your name for 1,000 times and just show our appreciation and give you cool stuff. So let me find that list. Oh my goodness, here it is. 1 second. I know that Katherine is first. Here we go. Okay. Katherine Shrubka, Ryan Schlia, Sean Lewis, Wayne Conover, Leslie Cairns, Sarah Henderson, Zoe Curiazza, Leslie Lesterman, Brian Shear, Kelly Beuth, Scott Seaford, Elizabeth Pope, Lori Mara, Gwendolyn Davis, Laura Walford, Derry Howell, and Pete Sheldon. Woo! Okay. So let me just make sure everyone is going to be unmuted here. For Elves, we have Regina, played by Maruschak. If I said that, you can just let me know. I'm so sorry. Polly, Malin, Hayden, and Lenny, James Barcomb. Okay, here we go. Because, we had a very interesting Christmas this year, so let's just keep the spirit going. Lights up on a Christmas festival. We see merriment in the hustle and bustle of all that is going on. Families together, enjoying the holiday season, carefree, laughing, playing in the snow, and ever so excited about waiting in line to see Santa Claus. The smell of hot chocolate is in the air, and we hear the sound of Christmas carols being played in the background throughout the entire play. Off to one side, across the street from the park where the festival is being held, sits Regina atop a worn suitcase. Her 8-year-old daughter, Polly, kicks around aimlessly in the snow amid a small pile of their belongings, including a very ugly lamp with multicolored tassels is hanging off of it. 2 smaller suitcases and a few odds and ends are scattered in the snow. Neither Regina nor Polly is dressed appropriately for winter weather. However, they are doing their best to stay warm.
Polly, come here and give me your hands, love. They must be frozen.
Don't worry, Mama. I'm okay. If I keep moving, I stay warm.
Well, come here anyway and give me a bit of that warmth you got going on, then. I can use all I can get.
Polly dutifully sits on a smaller suitcase next to her mother, and her mother wraps her arms around her.
There now, much better. You packed quite a lot of heat for such a little thing.
It's the warmth of the Christmas spirit. I feel it all around me.
Well, you must be packed head to toe with spirit if you're this toasty. I feel a little spirit here. And some here. And some a whole lot of bunch right in your belly.
Polly giggles and holds her mother close while she tickles her.
Oh, my sweet, sweet girl. The one thing in this world I did right.
Mama, that's nonsense. You do everything right.
Oh, I only wish that were the case, my love.
Polly looks across the street to the festival.
Should we go and look at Christmas lights, Mama? That always makes you smile.
Another time, love. Aunt Grace should be here soon to pick us up, and we don't have anywhere to leave all our things if we were to walk.
Polly refers to the very ugly lamp with the tassel.
Nobody's gonna want this lamp. If I walked by it, I would mistake it for something to go in the garbage bin.
Well, that would be quite a shame because it's the only one we have. If we lost it, how would you read your books at night?
True. Someday, Mama, I'll be very rich, and I will buy you all the most magnificent lamps you could ever dream of, and a big house with a fireplace, and we'll never be cold or hungry ever again.
Regina pulls her closer.
Nothing in the world that I want more for you, my dear. Sweet girl.
She kisses her softly on the head. Regina and Polly sit in an embrace, feeling the cold air on their faces, listening to the Christmas music, and watching the families walk by with great big smiles on their faces. Every once in a while, someone glances at them pityingly, which makes them shrink more into each other.
I'm sorry, baby. You deserve so much better than this. You should have gifts and fancy clothes and just everything. I'm sorry, but I don't have any Christmas presents for you this year.
A tear runs down Regina's face as she holds her daughter, embarrassed.
It's okay, Mama. All I want, I have right here.
It's not much. Not much at all.
The only thing I need is you, Mama.
Oh, dear girl. How I love you.
All of a sudden, the air is cut by a snowball that whizzes by and hits the tassel lamp right square in the middle of the shade.
Oh!
What was that?
A snowball, Mama! Somebody threw a snowball!
People need to be more careful. That could have really hurt someone.
Elf approaches them quickly and speaks with a thick New York accent.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Did I hurt you?
Oh, no worries. We're just startled, that's all.
Look! Mama! He's an elf!
Oh, right you are, young lady.
Do you know Santa and his reindeer? You live at the North Pole.
Yes, and yes. Oh, Santa's a good buddy of mine. Yeah, in the off-season, we team up for a great game of golf.
What's it like at the North Pole?
The most magical place you could ever imagine. Filled with toys and candy and reindeer and lots of elves, like me.
Wow. Could you take me there sometime to visit?
I'm sorry, sweetie. They're on a strict no visit from Earth policy. If I don't follow the rules, I can lose my elf hat.
I understand.
Hey. What is that behind your ear?
My ear?
Lenny reaches behind her ear and pulls out several very shiny pieces of paper.
Mama! Look what came out of my ear!
I see, baby. Perhaps you need to do a better job of cleaning next time you're in the bathtub.
You've been elfed. Look, these are elf bucks.
What are elf bucks?
The most magical of currency. Take these to any of the stands in the Christmas festival, and you can redeem them for treats and hot cocoa.
Mama, may I?
Who am I to say no to an elf?
Thank you, Mr. Elf.
Polly takes the elf bucks and runs away quickly to the festival.
No, don't be long, Polly, and Grace will be here soon.
Yes, Mama.
Polly is gone. The elf puts up a suitcase and sits down next to Regina.
Thank you. You made her whole Christmas.
Don't mention it. I could be wrong, but because it has been quite a few years, but aren't you Regina Clark?
Yes. Do I know you?
Lenny Katzenbaum, the PS68, the Bronx, 1990s.
Oh, my goodness. Lenny Katzenbaum.
In the flesh.
I can't believe you recognize me. I mean, I had this feeling that I had met you before, but I haven't seen you in such a long time, and I thought, I guess I don't know what I thought.
I have a confession to make. I knew it was you right away. I threw that snowball over here just wanted an excuse to come over here and talk to you. Oh, it's good to see you, Regina. Man, I haven't seen you in a dog's day. You look well.
And you look like an elf. I thought you were Jewish. The clearest memory of you that I have is when you dressed up like a dreidel at Hanukkah and sang the whole song by yourself in front of the entire school. Third grade, I think it was.
You remember right. Glad I made such an impression.
How could I ever forget? So, things have changed for you. You're a Christmas elf. This is a big switch for you.
Seasonal employment. Gotta pay the bills.
Regina is brought back to reality of her situation.
Yes, I know. I know what you mean.
Regina, is everything okay? I saw you two sitting over here, and I could just feel your overwhelming sadness.
Well, we're going through a rough time. With everything that's happened this year, I lost my job. It led to us losing our apartment. Sold off as many of our belongings as I could to try to make ends meet, but it wasn't enough. We were evicted today.
Oh, Regina, I'm so sorry.
We'll be okay. We've been in tough places before. My sister's picking us up, and we'll have a place to stay while we get back on our feet. It's not ideal, but we're grateful to have family.
How's Polly doing with all this?
She's perfect. She is the one thing that keeps me going.
She is certainly filled with the Christmas spirit. I can feel it all the way across the park.
Yeah, she is. Sadly, I had to break the news to her today that for this year, Christmas is canceled.
Canceled? Oh, no, Christmas is never canceled.
I have no choice. There's barely enough money for food. There's certainly none for gifts.
Regina, come on. You know Christmas isn't about gifts. It's about hope and kindness and possibility.
Sorry, Lenny, I haven't had much reason for hope lately.
Oh, Regina, there's always reason to hope. This won't last forever. Well, things will get better.
Hope you're right. I haven't had much to look forward to lately. Every road seems like a dead end. Possibility a roadblock.
My suggestion, if you want an elf's 2 cents, that is.
How about the advice of an old friend from many lifetimes ago?
I can do that. Be creative. Find ways to make memories with your little girl this year. Pull up that long-forgotten Christmas spirit.
How? I can barely afford to feed her.
Memories don't have to cost money. Make snow angels together in the park. Walk through the festival and enjoy the Christmas lights. Sing songs. Make ornaments out of things you collect in nature. Possibilities are endless.
I guess. Thank you, Lenny.
Santa's #1 elf. Always at your service. This is what I do. Help others to remember the magic of the season. Even when things look bleak.
Well, you certainly made Polly's whole year. Look at her.
Regina gestures to the park, where Polly, arms full of goodies and hot chocolate, is returning with a huge smile on her face.
Mama, look! Every stand that I went to saw my elf box and smiled. I came back with so many special things, I could hardly carry them.
I see, baby, I see.
Thank you, Mr. Elf, sir, for all the special surprises.
All in an elf's day of work.
I had so much fun.
She hands the goodies to her mom.
Here, Mama. Try these and these.
They are wrapped up in Polly's joy for a few moments, but they don't even notice that Lenny is gone.
Thank you.
Where'd he go, Mama?
I don't know, baby. He was right here.
Oh, Mama, I almost forgot. When I was on my way back from the festival, another elf, just like our elf, came up to me and asked if I was Polly.
Did?
Yes! I couldn't begin to know how he knew my name. But since he was an elf and not a stranger, I told him yes. And he gave me this and told me to make sure I give it to my mother.
He hands her a small, plainly wrapped package.
Go on! Open it!
Okay, I will.
Regina opens the package.
What is it, Mama?
Why, it's an old storybook. I recognize this book. I had one just like it when I was a little girl, just like you.
Why would someone give you an old storybook for Christmas?
I don't know, baby. Old memories, perhaps?
Maybe. I'll open it up and read me a story, please.
I will do just that.
Regina opens the book and a piece of paper falls out.
What's that?
I don't know, let's see.
She opens the note and begins to read.
Dear Regina, how delightful it was to see you after all these years. I know things seem hopeless right now, but where there is great love, there is always hope. You and your beautiful daughter have much to look forward to. Things will get easier if you keep the hope and spirit of Christmas alive in you all year long. Never give up, and your life will be rich with love and happiness. Here are some Christmas stories to get you started making memories. Until our paths cross again, Shalom. Love, Lenny Katzenbaum, a.k.a. Lenny the Elf.
There is a silence as Regina contemplates the beautiful message. All of a sudden, Regina looks over, and beside her, where Lenny was sitting, sits a set of golden keys. Regina picks them up.
Keys. Oh no. Do you think Mr. Lenny the Elf forgot them?
I don't know, baby.
There's a message attached. These keys. Take them to the edge of the Christmas festival. And there you shall find your way home.
What? I don't understand.
Let's follow the directions, Mama. See where it leads.
She picks up as much as she can carry and starts running back toward the festival.
Wait, baby, wait for me!
Regina grabs the rest of their belongings and the keys and follows Polly, who has stopped in front of a small, decorated, and lit home, with a Christmas tree in the front yard. On the front door is a banner.
Welcome home, Regina and Polly.
Would you look at that? Right inside the Christmas village.
Look, there's a sign.
This home was built in memory of Lenny Katzenbaum, our most loyal and steadfast elf, who died last year in an accident. He was a valued member of Santa's village and left express wishes in his will that his lifetime earnings should be used to house the most worthy of occupants, those truly filled with the Christmas spirit. Blessings on officially becoming members of Santa's village, and welcome home. And as Lenny would say, you can help.
Mama, do we live at the North Pole now?
Yes, we do, baby. Yes, we do.
Let's go inside.
Yes, let's.
Polly runs into the house, and Regina turns to see a lone elf standing and watching them from across the street.
Thank you, Lenny. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me of the true meaning of Christmas.
Lenny smiles, and just like that, he is gone. Regina turns and goes inside. Blackout, end of play. And Merry Christmas! Thank you all for reading that play, and thank you, Kelly, for writing that play. I totally forgot that Lenny died. I knew that they got the house, but I forgot about the dead elf. So That's interesting.
Thank you so much to our cast and our playwrights this time around. It's always so fun to get together with the gang and do a play festival on a Friday. If you're looking to be an actor in the quarantine quarters or for any of our other projects, or looking to write for anything or any of our other projects, just email us at greenbuffaloproductions@gmail.com. Kelly is somebody who has been writing with us since I think we started last year, and she has since gone on to be featured in several quarantine quarters. Our Spooky One Act Film Festival she was featured in this year, and she has at least one play that will be in Emerald Terrace that I have been working on casting for her. So anything is possible, anything can happen, and this could be you someday where your plays are getting read at the quarantine quarters and being featured in all of Green Buffalo's things. Because we're not going to stop just because there's a virus. We'll just do it all very safely from the comfort of our own homes.
If you write for us, I mean, something that's really helped us out too is like all of us that are running the quarantine quarters, we've been writing the plays off and on throughout the whole process too, and submitting them elsewhere. So obviously you submit them to us first, and then if we're unable to do it, because we only produce really Western New York work in person, work up those skills and send it out to places, because it'll help you keep going. It'll make you feel better. It honestly really helped me out, and I know it helped Maddie out too. So just do it. It's hard at first, but just do it.
Big shout out to our friends at the Windows Theater, which is where we met Lex and Malin. They produced one of my plays that I wrote for the quarantine quarters just a couple months ago. So really honestly, it's one of those things that you send it in for the quarantine quarters, and then you send it to the Buffalo Theater Workshop to be edited, and then you send it out to the rest of the world. And you too can be a playwright. But I think that's it for tonight. Thank you all so much for being here, and especially our patrons who have donated. It's really helping us out for the next couple of months. We're not really sure when we're going to be able to get back together in the same room again. So it's super, super helpful. And thank you all for the wonderful year that we had last year. We're going into our third year of GBP, and this is a big one for us. So thank you so much.
Have a great night, everybody. Be safe.
Good night.
Good night.